Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you are, remember you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another HABS Daily News with the hockey coach, Coach FRENCHY. Today, episode number 323. What do you mean, coach? We have only one subject, guys. Do you draft or not MICHKOV? Interesting, coach. But before we start, we invite you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation show, and leave us a comment about this episode. And let's start talking about my first subject of the day. First subject of the day, guys, is the question, do you draft or not MATVEI MICHKOV? I watched a couple of clips for MICHKOV for the last couple of days, and I realized, guys, this kid is an amazing on one side of the game, offensive side. But MICHKOV is terrible. He struggled a lot on the other side of the game, talking about the defensive. So what I did for you guys, I did some clip on both sides of the game to show to you why it's so great and why it's so terrible to other side. Let's start with the offensive side. You're going to see him now to pick up the puck right here. Look the move. Oh my God, between skate and now cross the red line to the blue line. Great pass to his teammate and a good opportunity to score. On this one, guy, you're going to see MICHKOV does another great move on the board in front of the white jersey. Oh my God, did you see that move? That's what MICHKOV is. He has this one, great pass in front of the net for MICHKOV. And finally, the last one, a video on offensive. Look, the pass he did cross between two other players and his teammate scored a goal. On the other side of the game, that's why he struggled. I'm going to take a little bit careful over there. Watch MICHKOV right now. He's at the blue line. The puck is on the board. We have a battle. He does not know yet if his teammate is going to get a puck or not. You know, he leaves the zone without knowing his teammate control the puck. This is a really bad play by MICHKOV. And then the other team stop the puck. And now he's really behind of the play. Now you're going to see him. He pop up right here. You can see now on the screen. And that's it. On this one, guys, you're going to see MICHKOV make another big mistake. Look, how many players we have on the black team? 4. We missed one player. Way easy. He's coming. And yes, back checking. And here we go. MICHKOV show up 3-4 seconds later. This was the reason why I believe he's really terrible on the defensive zone. And finally, the last sequence of the defensive zone, guys, is about MICHKOV again. And this one, you're going to realize why he's only thinking offensive. Now, MICHKOV is not on the picture yet, by the way. What? No, he's not. He's coming. Don't worry. He's coming late, like he does. Now he's coming from the net. Here's the winger, guys. What his priorities is to be sure, no shot coming from the blue line. His head is only looking behind the net. That's what he's doing right now. He completely forgot his man to coverage. Now he's coming down to the goal line. He's going to turn his body for the breakout. He go far away of the puck, and his opponent team on the puck. You see right there. Now he's coming up to the top right there, and now he's still there. But again, this is what I said, he's struggling on the defensive zone coverage. He completely lost his man coverage, and then he always thinking offensive, and that's happening there. Sometimes just not there on the defensive zone coverage. This is a really bad play by MICHKOV. He needs to improve to get better. Of course, guy is 17 years old, 18 years old. But again, there's something he needs to improve. It reminds us who? Cole Caulfield. Yes, you are right, coach. Now, I want to share with you other things, guys. First of all, guys, MICHKOV on the offensive mind is great. He has vision. He's shifty. Great hands. Skating. Amazing. Great space. On the offensive side of the game. That's why he's excellent. That's why he have greatness inside of him. But on the flip side, guys, he's lost on defensive zone. He lost his man to cover. He always thinking to get out of the zone earlier. He need to be sure he is covered first, the defensive, the house first, and then he get out. This is something you need to improve and for his future in NHL. Now, offensive for the Montreal Canadiens, they are going to be limited to access to MICHKOV. They're going to be limited to his development for the next 3 years if they select him. And remember, guys, Pobrave did not go to Russia this year. He stayed out of his country where he was born. This something could be a problem at long term if Montreal select MICHKOV. Now, I want to share with you what Hugo did last year. He was not afraid to select Sapkowski over Shane Wright and again the fans. This year, a lot of people want MICHKOV. Do you think for the second year, Hugo are going to pass MICHKOV and select another player if MICHKOV is still on the board? Hughes said the difference between drafting a player and a roster construction. What are you talking about, coach? But sometimes when you draft a player, you don't know what he's going to look like the next 4 years. But of course, you have to thinking the roster construction too at the same time. Not make that priority over the players, but you have to thinking about what the team will look like in the next 4 or 5 years. That's really difficult to think that way, obviously. What I realized, guys, is the size, win, and the Stanley Cup playoff. I don't say the reason to select Sapkowski, it was only because of his size, but I know he played a major impact from the decision about Sapkowski. It was one of them for sure. Ken Hughes said we cannot have too many smaller players on the lineup, but I said having 2 undersized players on his top 6 be one too many. Imagine Caulfield and MICHKOV together. That brings to you guys NHL facts. I look for the last 5 years, 20 teams reached the final conference in the NHL. And I look at the players, 5'10" and smaller. By the way, MICHKOV is 5'10". Here's some graphic for you guys. This is all the players play on the final conference, guys, are 5'10" and smaller. I don't want to go one by one. Take a time to maybe make a post and realize who they are. I have one more graphic in 2022 and 2023. This year, guys, Carolina, Dallas, Florida, Vegas, we have only 4 players. Jarvis, Domi, Lombard, and Marchessault. All other players, guys, are 5'11" and more. Now, another NHL fact, guys. From the list I just showed to you, they have 25 players of the 20 team in the last 5 years. 23 of the 25 are forward. We have 2 defensemen, and they are coming from Boston Bruins in 2019, Tony Kruk and Kelchik. Only 10 Finnish guys, top 6 time on the ice for their team of the 25 players we just talked about. From the 10 players, we honestly have only 7 players. Why, coach? Because some of them repeat. Yannick Gourde, Jonathan Marchessault. From all the 25 players, only one is at 170 pounds. Yamamoto. The 24 over player guy are over 170. MICHKOV is at 148. Red flag again here. I'm not done, guys. What I did, if you think about this, you have some kind of similarity between Cole Caulfield and MICHKOV. Why, coach? Because both of them struggle in the defensive zone. This is really where they have difficulties. Martin Saint-Louis said, I cannot teach Cole score goal, but there are other areas he needs to improve his game. He's talking about, honestly, of this defensive zone coverage. MICHKOV, guys, without development for the next 3 years, because Montreal Canadiens cannot helping him, unfortunately. What it will look like in the next 3 years, MICHKOV, with no contact with the Montreal Canadiens, if Montreal select MICHKOV. This is a really big red flag too. So after I just said everything to you, facts, video, who he is at the end of the day, my question to you and your comments below this video is, do you select or not MATVEI MICHKOV, 5th overall pick, NHL Draft 2023? My answer, guys, no. He proved it in NHL in the last 5 years. You cannot have 2 players undersized play on your top 6. You cannot win at the end of the day in the playoff. Montreal just signed Cole Caulfield for 8 years. I believe June 28th, Montreal Canadiens are not going to pick MICHKOV. Here we go, guys. This is my only subject today. It's a long video. I would like to hear from you guys. Let me know what you think. Do you select or not MATVEI MICHKOV? Hopefully you enjoyed, guys. A special video today about MICHKOV. But before we leave, we want to remind you, don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation show, and leave us a comments about this episode. And of course, we want to remind you, you have greatness inside of you, and we wish you an amazing, great, blessing day, everybody.